We have some world-class concierge here. You guys always have your finger on the pulse of not just what's going on in your own cities, but what's going on around the world with your large network of colleagues. Fred Bigler, you're kind of stranded at your place in Florida right now, although you live in New York City. What's going on?
Well, I am stranded here, but I'm just watching the world unfold and what's happening in New York. And thank goodness today the governor placed the mandate for stay at home for Florida.
And Michael, Romei, you are in New York. Briefly set the scene there.
Yes, I'm living in Manhattan, homebound, staying as careful as I possibly can, and observing what's happening outside.
And Mark Peterson, you're in West Hollywood, right down the road from me, where we have our own issues here in Los Angeles.
Yes, at the moment, things seem to be getting worse. Hopefully with social distancing, though, we can mitigate some of that. But yes, I'm at home.
Michael, Romei, you're in New York City.
Yes.
The news just seems to get more dire every day. I mean, how are you dealing?
Yeah, it is very apprehensive. And of course, the difference here in New York is that we're all in such tight quarters. And so when one does go out, especially to the store, one has to take every precaution because the stores are very compact and very tight. And you have really no choice then to be in close proximity to another person.
Yeah, Mark Peterson in West Hollywood. I think Los Angeles is another epicenter, but because we're so spread out here, I also think it feels very different than New York. What are your thoughts?
I agree. When you go past the stores where people are waiting in line, there's plenty of room. I'm witnessing social distancing, people standing 6 feet apart, but the lines tend to be quite long. So I hope that by being in our cars and not communicating with each other so close on the street, that LA will blunt some of the effects of this pandemic.
And Michael, I think two of the scariest places to be right now are where you are in New York City and Milan. You have a lot of friends and colleagues in Milan. Can you kind of compare and contrast Milan and New York? And though in Milan, they're a couple weeks ahead of us. What can we learn from them?
Yeah, they are ahead of us in terms of their quarantine. Their shelter-in-place restriction is law enforced, which is very, very different from here.
I didn't realize.
Here it is a self-quarantine. It's a suggestion. The mayor and the governor would like everyone to comply with that. The social distancing also here is not really being monitored so closely as it is in Italy and in Milan. So they are gradually coming out of their apex, their peak. They hope to even maybe have a little bit of a relief by Easter time.
You know, Mark Peterson, another terrible issue that LA has to deal with is that almost everything revolves around the entertainment industry here and nothing is going on. What kind of impact are you seeing and are you predicting because of that?
Well, I think there is going to be a lot of creativity because people are at home and they have time now. So on the plus side, I think there will be a lot of stories written and things evolving from that. But on the production side, everything is halted. So everybody is just on pause, just like the rest of the world.
One of the things I think is very interesting, Michael and I having been best buddies for years, I think I do know a lot about Les Clés d'Or, is that it is such an association of cooperation. In other industries, everybody is so competitive with each other, but that's really the exact opposite of what you guys are all about.
Yes.
This is true.
That's correct. Yes. It is,
and
it is really a beauty of our society and one of our greatest strengths.
It is. It's
Yeah.
really an incredible notion because your industry as a whole is a very competitive one. Yet you have friends throughout your association all over the world.
Yes.
And even on the local associations too, we meet with competing hotels, and there's no competition in mind when we're together. We're all in the same boat, and many of us have worked with other people in our association, in our community, at different hotels.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to just speak a little bit about the local associations, and Mark
Yeah.
is our first guest and also the first president of a local concierge association, LACA, the Los Angeles Concierge Association. And
First
this is
president on
something.
this podcast, yes.
Yes, exactly. And this is a very unique association here in the United States, different from many of the other member section countries of our Le Clé d'Or network, that we have approximately 35, 36 local associations in the United States operating independently, but with a very strong connection to Le Clé d'Or. And the membership of the local association is really a stepping stone and a tremendous learning and development experience for someone who wants to become a member of Le Clé d'Or. In fact, it's a requirement here in the United States to be a member of your local association before you can join Le Clé d'Or USA. So it's wonderful that we have Mark with us.
So all of you guys are used to giving all types of advice to your guests. You probably give advice to thousands and thousands of people during the course of a year. Mark, what advice would you give to your two friends to get them through this crisis?
Don't watch the news 24/7. Get a little snapshot of what's going on and focus on what's going on in your personal life, in your milieu, and don't worry about the world, because when it happens, the world will dictate what we do, but we can't be consumed by it. So that would be my number one word of advice.
I love that. As a journalist, I love that piece of advice. So Michael, what advice would you give to your two friends?
Keep some sort of a schedule, stay at home, keep busy, stay calm, and take care of yourself, your health, and protection.
And Freddie, how about you?
I'm just all about following the rules. You know, whatever the government says, they know best about this epidemic. Just follow the rules and stay safe. And I love it.
Okay. Freddie, what is your message to colleagues around the world during this time?
I guess I would say that there are so many of you that I love and I miss, and I cannot wait for us to all gather again at one of our future congresses. You know, I don't know if Rio's happening, but I just can't wait to see them all, and social media just can't cover it. So stay safe.
Aw, and Mark, how about you? What's your message?
Well, my heart goes out to the people of India, our colleagues there who were planning an international congress in New Delhi, and unfortunately that had to be canceled. And I hope and pray that they can at some point do it again. And this is a difficult time for all of us, and especially in the travel industry. So we need to be together, but be together apart.
Yeah. And Michael, what's your message?
Stay strong, dear friends. Remember the power and strength of our friendship.
Thanks, guys. There you go. From three of the top concierge in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's great to see you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.